Criticism of Sheriff Mike Williams for moving from Jacksonville to Nassau County, and he responds to questions from News4 Jax reporter Jim Piggott.
They believe that this just isn't right, having your sheriff move out of town. They say it shows that Jacksonville isn't safe. What would you tell them?
Yeah, I completely disagree.
Sheriff Williams had much more to say about keeping the city safe and about his move to a suburb a year ago. He told Jim he believes what he did is legal. The city attorney will issue an opinion after giving the sheriff an opportunity to argue his point of view.
Under city law, the Jacksonville charter, the sheriff must live in Duval County, and if the sheriff moves away, the office becomes automatically vacant. Jim is joining us live from downtown with more on what Williams and others have to say about this. Jim.
You know, the most thing that I'm hearing downtown today is criticism of the sheriff. Democrats, as expected, they actually want to see a special election in August because they believe that this has been vacated. Republicans in the mayor, well, they are supporting the sheriff in statements today, but they're really not saying anything about the legality of the move. Sheriff Mike Williams says state law allows him to live out of the county, while city rules or the charter are quite different and say he must live within Duval County or the office is vacant. Much to the surprise of many people, the sheriff sold his Jacksonville home a year ago, and we are now just learning about it. I've been talking to people throughout Jacksonville about this, like Daryl in Riverside. What do you think of that, of the sheriff moving out?
I don't think it's right.
Why not?
Because if he's the sheriff of Jacksonville, then he needs to be here in Jacksonville.
But Sheriff Williams doesn't believe that's the case and says changes in state law allow for his move. He told me today that he's in discussion with city lawyers and should get an answer this week. The sheriff did say again today that he doesn't see any scenario where he would resign. A lot of people, and you've read the comments and seen the comments, they believe that this just isn't right, having your sheriff move out of town. They say it shows that Jacksonville isn't safe. What would you tell them?
Yeah, I completely disagree. Look, we're a big metropolitan area, so there's a lot of overlap with people that work and live in Jacksonville, live outside of Jacksonville. And JSO, me included, are working every single day to keep this community safe. And I think there's example after example of that every day, so I disagree with that.
The city council is asking city lawyers for answers as well. I had a chance to talk to several members, both Republican and Democrat, who say the sheriff needs to rethink his decision. Do you believe that it's wrong that he did move, that office has been vacated?
You know, I think it was a mistake, and I hope he corrects it and moves back to Jacksonville. He's a good man, and I want to see him finish up his term. This could be a tempest in a teapot if he'll quickly move and do the right thing.
As a city council member, when I registered and filed to run, I filed under the impression that I had to live in the district that I serve. And so I think that that's the expectation, and I think that that's what all of our citizens expect.
Former sheriff and current Congressman John Rutherford was at the same Memorial Day event this morning as the sheriff. So I asked him what he thinks of the situation.
Yeah, you know, the same way I do about congressional members not living in their district. You know, I would live in a district that I serve.
And that is a question put to the sheriff today. Would he consider moving back to put an end to this controversy?
Is there any scenario where if you move back, that would cure what's happened and just sort of reset?
There could be. So again, that's part of the discussion that we're having. That we'll conclude this. We'll wrap this up pretty quickly.
Are you talking to General Counsel's office?
So we are talking tomorrow.
Reaction is still pouring in. The Northside Coalition saying the city's top cop is violating the letter and spirit of the law. Mayor Lenny Curry tweeting that the sheriff cares deeply about this community. The Duval Democratic Party says the sheriff has abandoned his elected office and it wants a special election, while the local Republican Party is saying Williams continues to serve our city with the utmost distinction and professionalism. You know, there was one question I did ask the sheriff, and that's basically, why didn't you tell anybody about this? He really didn't have an answer for that, basically saying he thought he was in the law, and that's what was happening there. Of course, this week we're waiting for that opinion, and the minute we get that, we're going to pass it on to you. We're live downtown at the sheriff's office. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, thank you. Our News4Jax insiders have been very vocal with their opinions on the sheriff's move. Tarek is joining us. Tarek, people seem to be divided about all of this.
Very much so, Tom. You know, News4Jax insiders have spoken, but they are not in agreement if Sheriff Williams' move is a bad thing. Insider Suzanne thinks that the move is odd, saying, quote, so Jax is okay to work, but not to live. Going by actions of our sheriff, the head of law enforcement officers, he definitely knows something. But other insiders like Ranger One don't see a problem with this move. He says, quote, after consolidation in 1968, the city limits included all of Duval County. Today, 54 years later, although not officially, the Jax metropolitan area extends far beyond county lines. I have no problem with where he now lives. An insider, Common Sense No More, says, quote, his term is almost over. I'm sure he's looking into the future for him and his family. Houses are getting up snapped fast. If he and his wife found one they liked, and time is of essence in the current market, then he should buy what he wants. It's true, many of JSO officers reside in other counties. Why can't he? If you want to share your thoughts with us on Sheriff Williams' move, we want to hear from you. Find this story on news4jax.com on the homepage to get started. Janice?